Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller, Prospect, and welcome to another Tuesday Night Gold Panning Fever, episode number 191. And you can tell by the shirt, today we're going to be going through some Culver prospecting Paydirt. Be more specific, some red doe Paydirt. But let me catch up on chat first, see how everyone's doing. What's going on? All right, started moving really quick. Ortiz, how's it going? Teo? Weezen Geezer, Donna, thank you for being here. Thank you, some of you, for being mods. I appreciate it. Fox Rider, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Shane Berthero, Bike Ride, there you go, brother. Mentally Corrupted, awesome to hear. Thanks. John Gear, thank you for joining the show. Donna, thank you as always for joining the show. Stephen LeBlanc, how's it going? And thank you for being my number one fan, Donna. SRIP63, Refotris, Golden Dragon, how's it going? Alaskan Assassin, how are you today? Think we got an early start, not a lot of people, so that was easy. Didn't have a ton of chat. Jeffrey Button, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show, appreciate it. All right, I can pop out chat pretty quickly today, so that's good. Move this over here. Change my chat. Drives me crazy that it does top chat. I don't even know why they have top chat. Aaron Mack, how's it going, brother? How are you doing today? All right, I think I'm almost all set up. So yeah, today we're going to be going through some Culver prospecting, Paydirt. Today's going to be a short show. I figured not a lot of people, 3-day holiday just ended. People are going to be recovering from that, so, you know. And plus, if in case you didn't know, Mike over at Gold Nugget Sales is doing a live auction tonight and tomorrow. I think tonight and tomorrow. I know tonight and tomorrow. I don't know any other days of the week. In fact, I will put it up on the screen. Where is it? What is he auctioning off? Is he auctioning anything off? There we go. I don't know what's happening over there. So, yeah, but Mike over on Whatnot is doing some auctions today. So that's probably not doing great for me, but Jason G, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. If you were doing Red Doe, might not be a short night. Well, unfortunately, my kids are over tonight. So my new summer schedule, I have my kids on some Tuesdays now, which is making things difficult. But we're going to go through it. We're going to try. And as you can see on the screen right here, that's Mike's Whatnot live auction going on right now. So if you don't want to look at my ugly mug today, or if you want to pop over there and try and buy some gold, I will post his link to it right here. And you can get $15 credit by joining Whatnot, spending on some gold over at Mike. You know, Mike is one of my favorite sellers. So anything to help him get his business. And that looks like a very expensive piece of gold. That $15 isn't going to help. So, you know, but he's doing a live show tonight. He's doing one tomorrow. He just started up on Whatnot last week, I believe. So what's up, Culver, brother? How's it going, my man? So, yeah, we're going to be doing some of that red doe. I think, if I remember right, it is supposed to be a difficult Paydirt. So I'm going to have to pan it pretty quick. I have to be out of here by 7:30. So we're not going to chat for too long, about 15 minutes. That'll give me a good enough time to pan it out. So hopefully we'll find it all, you know. And in between that, we'll hop over onto see what he's doing on Whatnot. No, it is just not loading up for me. So there you go. I don't know. Without the sound, you really can't tell anything. So, all right. Let me see. Sorry, I was kind of trying to watch his show earlier. I was hoping his show started at 5. I was like, oh, there's a time zone difference, but nope, he started his show at the same time as mine. So if you want to get some gold after my show, you can. I think he runs it for 2 hours. I believe he runs his shows for 2 hours. So same time as mine. But if not, tomorrow you can go on his Whatnot. So that'll be that. So let me take that off because I don't think my OBS likes all this stuff running. It keeps flashing red and white. So Yeah, we're gonna get rid of that. But if you want to go check it out, make sure you go check out Mike's Whatnot account. You can buy some gold, get $15 with the coupon. So um, but yeah, so for today we're just gonna find some of Culver's prospecting, Paydirt, because that's my current reigning champion from my Paydirt championship. And I will say, probably this year might be my last championship I do. I might do another one this year. I haven't even decided if I'm going to do one this year. I might end it. There's just not a lot of sellers that are going to be in the top. It's gonna be the same three sellers over and over and over every year. So I think it was a fun thing to do, and I might do it one more year. I don't know yet, but I might just shorten it and just take like 4 sellers and run them through their paces or something. I don't know. But Dina, thank you for joining the show. Ozark Buck, what's up, brother? Oh, go relax some. Sit down. Take a sip of something cold. Relax. You don't want to look at this ugly mug right after getting off work. PA Patriot, what's up, brother? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. No. So yeah, it's been a while since I've panned out any Culver Paydirt. Not since the championship. I mean, since I did the championship, I haven't panned out any Culver prospecting really. So probably because he's been sold out so much, because he's a very popular seller and he puts out really good Paydirt. So, but so everyone should wish Culver some good luck, that he'll find a whole bunch of gold and the gold gods will be good to him, so he can put more Paydirt up on his website. So. Scott Junkins, how's it going? Adam Weiss, how's it going? Thank you both for joining the show. Appreciate it. Now gold, I haven't looked at gold in a couple days. The last time I looked, it was 108. So I'm going to go look at it really quick, which is crazy. No, my computer is acting up. Hold on. All right, so let's see gold spot. What is gold spot right now? Gold price today, 106.13. So it's still up there. I don't like gold over 100. I think over 100 is just overkill, especially for the Paydirt hobby. If you're a bullion stacker, then yeah, it's a great. But for us Paydirt buyers, over 100 is not very good. So I don't know what we're going to do about that. Everyone needs to start telling everybody that they don't have any gold. There's no gold. We haven't bought any gold. We haven't done anything with any gold. So maybe they'll lower the price. Either that, we need the Chinese to start buying bonds again. Tell them to stop buying so much gold. Chef V, how's it going? A lot. So, but all right, without any further ado, HD, what's up, brother? Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a mod. Thank you, all my mods, for being here. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everyone that's here tonight. So, I need to figure out one of these days what's wrong with my OBS. It just is going crazy. I don't know. I might have to. Ever since I switched to Windows 11, it's just OBS is not working right. So. Hey, Disc Golf Gold, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Rocky Mountain Prospector, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. I got that Iron Death over the weekend. Yeah, I have a bag. That's what I should have a review for it out Saturday. It's going to be complicated if I can do it. Again, this is a week with my kids. I was not anticipating, even though I knew my kids' schedule was switching up for the summer, I just didn't pay attention. I forgot totally about it. So my schedule with my kids has messed up my schedule for when my reviews are supposed to come out. Last Saturday, I was supposed to have a Flower Gold Wizards sluice video out, but I didn't. I just didn't have the time to make the video. I had my kids all week, and then I had one day off, and then my kids are back here for another 7 days. So I'm going to try to do the Iron Death video and have it up Saturday, and then the following week, I will have another video on Saturday. So I'm going to try to catch up this month. This one, I don't know why I picked all difficult stuff for this month, so it's going to be a pain. But let me know how you do. I'm going to be curious. The description definitely makes it seem very hard to do, so we'll have to see. What's up, JP? How's it going, brother? Hopefully you've been doing good. Everybody's doing good, hopefully. So, Refotress, how you been doing, brother? Rod Kurt, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. I wonder what time is it in Australia? Must be pretty late. And Donna, I don't know if I said thank you, but thank you very much, Donna. You're always way too kind to me. You're always way too kind. So, but without any further ado, because this stuff is supposed to be pretty tough to do, I'm not going to make y'all look at my ugly mug too long. We're going to start panning this stuff out, take it a little bit slow, and make sure we can get all the gold out of it before the end of the show. So, Alan Curie, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show, brother. Hopefully you've been doing as well. So, let me see. I don't know if I set up my webcam, my panning cam, which I did not. Let me fix this real quick. It's not so bright. All right. Oh, wait, we got to get rid of the auto zoom. Oh, we do not want it auto zooming every time I shake the pan. There we go. All right, and then full size. All right, I think we're almost there. Yeah, all right. So let's shrink down the ugly mug. Let's just get to some panning. There we go. And then we'll make me disappear. Yeah. There we go. There's our nice little shiny pan. Just waiting for some of that red dough. I haven't even seen any videos of the red dough. I've never seen any reviews or anything on the red dough. I typically don't watch a lot of reviews. Just so, you know, it doesn't taint my mind and make me think stuff. So I'll be really curious to see what this material is like. I have heard through the grapevine that it is really hard, especially during chat. That's about it. So I've heard it's some really tough stuff during chat, so I'll have to see. Oh, that's awesome, Refotress. Panning is always good. I 3D printed a pan last night. Yeah, there's a lot of pans. I've seen a lot of 3D, I guess like the code or whatever you want to call it for gold pans on a lot of the 3D sites. They've definitely made a whole bunch of different versions of it. So, but all right, let me move everything around. I don't even have any coffee tonight. I'm just drinking water. Kids woke me up early. I had to drink my coffee early today. So, all right, let me slap some gloves on, move some stuff around. Then we're going to start panning. Oh, I didn't charge my tablet. Oh, I'm just sucking today. But don't worry, this is going to be some good Paydirt. That's a good thing. As bad as I am, at least we know we got some good Paydirt to pan out tonight. Can't go wrong with Culver prospecting. If you can get your hands on it, it's some of the best Paydirt out there. It's just getting your hands on it. How much did you find? Oh, you haven't. That's right. You haven't even done it yet. Because I'll be curious. So when I'm doing my review on the Gold Baron Paydirt, I'm actually not going to review it for an ROI. I'm going to review it just mostly for its difficulty. Just because the ROI, I had somebody, my secret shopper, pre-ordered it. So I couldn't really do an ROI version of it because they paid when gold was, I think, like 101 or something like that. And gold, by the time they shipped it, gold had went up drastically, you know. Well, maybe not drastically, but it went up a whole bunch. So, oh my gosh, I just want YouTube to open on my tablet and it will just not open up. All right, I just want to find my own show on my tablet. Then we're going to do some panning. I promise we're going to do some panning. I can just get my, you know, I've tried so many ways to make this more convenient for myself with doing these live shows, and I just have not found a way. One day I had a monitor hooked up at one point, but then I was having to run the monitor off of my laptop, which just, it's an older laptop. It just wasn't powerful enough to run OBS, all the cameras, and a second monitor so I could watch chat. And then it also took like 40 minutes to set up every single time I wanted to do a live show. Tried using my phone, and that sucks because it's so small. And now I have a tablet, but I swear it takes me forever to get this tablet working. But well, at least I got it up. So, Annie Stevens, how are you? How are you doing? How's Indiana? B&B Paydirt Prospecting, how's it going? Who else? I saw somebody else in chat too. There it is, Chasing Cheddar. How's it going, Cheddar? How you been doing today? And now that we're going to do some panning, if one of my mods wants to drop the hidden link, feel free to. And again, this is spot number 8 of 8. I know I kind of added a spot, but I make the rules, I break the rules. So this is spot number 8 we're going to be doing for the 1 ounce silver bar from Cajun Bullion. So that's it. You can't really see it because it's too shiny, but I'll show you all again later on tonight. That'll be first prize. Second prize is a, what is it, 6.7 ounce copper round from Cajun Bullion. So those 2 prizes now, added a spot, but you got 2 prizes. All right, and there we go. This is our Culver Paydirt. Where's the nickel? There you go. I can tell you exactly how many bags of Paydirt I've panned out from Culver because I have all his nickels in a pile on my desk. So, nice piece of quartz. I'll save that. No idea what this is. Petrified wood, maybe? I don't know. Another big rock. Not going to be panning that out. What's this? It's not red. I really thought this was going to be really red. We'll have to see what it does to the water. Maybe it makes the water red. Hey, Brad Welch, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. So, yeah, start panning this. This is a 1 gram bag. Now, I can't do an ROI on this or anything because James sent this to me. I don't remember why he sent it to me. He was just being nice. Maybe he thought I could sell the gold and do something about my face. I don't know. I think I was just been said during one of the live shows or something that I hadn't done his red dough, and he sent it to me. So check for magnetic. That's a good idea. Where's my little thing? There we go. Let's see. Now this is my junkie scale. I haven't, or my junkie magnet. I haven't upgraded it yet, even though I have the stuff to do it. But yeah, definitely good bit of that. Good bit of magnetite, that's for sure. So technically you could cheat maybe to make this a little bit easier to pan out. We'll have to see. But let's mix all that back in there. Let's get all that back in there, the good stuff. So no, it's not a new pan. It's just the lights. This is a very old pan. One of these days I'm going to take a picture because I do have a new one somewhere. I just have to go through my pile of pans, but I'm pretty sure I have a new one somewhere. I'll have to take a picture with like some low lighting or something, some special lighting, just so you can see how worn this pan is next to a real pan. So, and welcome to the show, and thank you for joining the show, D3 Dunn. Who else? I saw somebody else join the chat. Who was it? Puget Prospecting. Thank you for joining the show. Gold rat, yeah. I was looking at, what is it, I was looking at a couple Aussie sellers last night. There was one like, your dad's Paydirt or something out of Australia. And then I was talking to another guy this morning, Nuggets by Nuggets out of Australia. Richard Dow, how's it going? Next year I might have to do another Aussie month. It was probably some of the favorite videos I've done in my 9-year career on YouTube have been the Aussie ones. You know, I just love the Australian Paydirt. I love the gold. You know, it's just so hard to get, and take so long to get here. We got one little piece of gold to start out with. I mean, there's some tiny little flakes in here too. A lot of little tiny stuff. So it's so hard to get Australian sellers that will actually ship to the United States. The vast majority of them just don't want the hassle. And I don't blame them. I mean, if you get seized by border and then you're kind of like stuck in that thing, like, do you refund them? Do you not? If you don't, they're gonna probably file a chargeback. Then you're out the gold. So then you have to charge extra because if you're like, oh, 1 in 10 packages is gonna get seized, well, that's adding $10 to everybody. So yeah. What's up, Rich? Rain Man in the house. How's it going? A3 Sky Warrior. Another Indiana person. Another Indiana prospector. Gold Rattles in the U.S. I'm pretty sure I've reviewed them. I'll have to go through my list. I have a long list of every Australian Paydirt. I have to go through them because I don't update my Aussie bookmarks. With my U.S. ones, I go through my U.S. bookmarks probably once a month, and I delete any that have, closed up shop or, not around anymore, or which ones I've reviewed, which one I haven't. But I haven't touched my Aussie list in a while. But I need to go through it and see who's closed, who's still here. Yeah, it's shipping is crazy expensive, I mean, just shipping, I shipped out something to the UK last week, or I printed the label anyway. I haven't actually shipped it out. And it was $26. I mean, it's just crazy. First class. I mean, it wasn't even priority mail or anything. It wasn't heavy. It was 14 ounces, Because I know, what was it? Old Paydirt seller out of Australia, DT Gold. DT Gold used to do that, where the only way they originally started, they were shipping like normal bags of Paydirt out of Australia, but the shipping was just so expensive they couldn't sell any, and it was just killing their business. So they went down, they started selling just like little 1 ounce bags of Paydirt. That was it. If you ordered something from DT Gold, it would be a 1 ounce bag of Paydirt with like a gram of gold in it. It was just, that's the only way people could afford it, that they could afford the shipping. And even then it was like $13, Golden Dragon, how's it going? Yeah, international shipping is just, it's a nightmare nowadays. I mean, I only do it because it's for my Patreon members, so otherwise I would not, I would not ship international. I always used to tell people, like, if you want to ship something international, open on eBay and only sell to international on eBay, because then eBay deals with all of it. Because like if I ship a bag of Paydirt to Australia or anywhere else, the insurance won't cover it 90% of the time. If it gets lost, it's oh well, so sad. If Border Patrol opens it and destroys it, it's oh well, so sad. But if you ship through eBay, eBay guarantees everything. So, because eBay has their own weird shipping where they ship everything. So if I ship something through eBay International, it goes to a warehouse and then they just put everything in huge pallets and then they ship the whole pallets. So Border Patrol really doesn't, go through the pallets as much because they know they're all off of eBay, So they're not going to disassemble an entire pallet unless, drug dogs or something smell something. They just assume that everybody said what it's in there, because you got a picture of it on eBay. That's what they bought. So we got a nice big old chonker. We're going to have to bring out the metal pan for this. Yeah, that's why I said I love Australian Paydirt. If I could only pan one Paydirt out, it would just be like Australian Paydirts. It looks big, but it sounds tiny. It's not making a big thud. So I'm gonna put it in the blue pan over there and the finishing pan. Yeah, I just love Australia. I love their dirt, and I love their gold. So I'm just waiting for Mike to bring back his big red Paydirt, but with the guaranteed nuggets again. So And if I miss anybody in chat, I apologize. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anything with this Paydirt, because I see lots of tiny little speckers in here. And while I don't mind adding it to my Tuesday tailings, I try to catch most as I can. So. Work sucks, 8-3. You don't want to do that, man. You will need to visit Australia. Australia is hard to get into, and it's expensive to go there. Maybe I'll have to ask Mike next time he goes to buy some Australian gold if he needs someone just a bodyguard or something. I will work for free just for the trip. Still can't comment on your shorts. I've noticed on some shorts I can't ever comment, and some I can. I gave up on shorts a long time ago. Every once in a while, I saw somebody's yesterday or something that I had to comment on. I think it was PAs maybe. Hey, Wesley, how's it going? Hopefully you've been doing good. You know what, Wesley? Yesterday, Wesley, I was looking because I was kind of upset with myself that I've kind of messed up not getting the low flow sluice video out, the second video out for the Flower Gold Wizard sluice that I want to do. And it's not going to be this Saturday. I'm hoping it's next Saturday. So, but I was really bummed about it, and I was like, oh man, let me go. And so I went to go look up the old video because I was trying to look at the thumbnail to see what I did for that thumbnail so I could try to recreate it for a second one, but different. And that video's gotten a lot of views. I was like, wow. I did not think it had gotten that many views. So usually my equipment reviews do pretty good, but usually it takes a long time, because they'll have years. A Paydirt, Lynch Mining, none of my videos for Lynch Mining are getting any views anymore because they're closed. But, the equipment's always around. People are always still, selling sluices and stuff. So, but man, I think it was at a little bit over 16,000 views. It's like, uh-oh. Hoping the next one does as good. How much of this Paydirt do you have to pan? It's only a 1 pound bag. I know it's, I don't want to say it's a 1 pound bag. It's 1 bag. So I'm guessing, I feel like I have a little bit over a pound. So there's probably 2 pounds in there. Culver is usually pretty generous with his bags. They're usually over a pound. They're usually closer to 2. So, but so far it's not too bad. It's not red. I will say I'm pretty surprised that bag named Red Doe, and I'm sure Culver told me before something about this Paydirt, but my mind is old. It's mush. Too many bad substances have passed through my brain over the years that my brain is kind of mush nowadays. So, but I can tell you, I honestly just thought this. It just reminded me, the name just kept making me think of Dave's old red clay Paydirt, where the second you touched anything, and Vendetta had some too, some really red material that as soon as it touched the water, everything was red. It was going to stain your clothes red, everything. So we had a huge run from 300 to 400. Maybe that was your fault. Maybe it's a good fault to have. It's a good problem to have, So I have been telling people, I've been noticing a lot of people on Facebook have been like, oh, what sluice to be used? So I've been sending them to the video telling them, because it's just crazy. Like I saw somebody was asking for a recirculating, something they could use to catch the fine gold at the end of the day for the buckets. And people were like suggesting these huge like trommels, and I was like, nobody wants to spend $3,000 to capture, $30 worth of fine gold, or even $100 worth of fine gold. I'm like, you have to be running so much material to make it those worth it, I'm I'm like, you could buy this $80 loose. It'll catch all the exact same gold. You might have to run it a little bit slower. You know, you can't just feed a bucket in it at once, but you know, you get your grandkids or your kids, you say, hey, feed this in there. You know, watch for the shiny. Is anyone able to sell pay? Yeah, I mean, it'd be probably if you sold Paydirt, it'd be a good idea to open an LLC. But you know, you can open an LLC for $100. You know, just so if anybody sues you, you know. What was this chat? What was this one say? Small Falls and Northern Creek. Well, you just getting out there. And the whole, I shot part 3. I have not posted. I don't know when I'm going to post it. It was kind of anticlimactic, part 3. I did magnet fish it, found nothing, so then I just closed it up. I figured out a cheap way. It's probably not the best way to do it, but I was just kind of aggravated by the whole thing. So, but I did seal it. The hole is all filled in now. My neighbor knows that I have buried the body, I guess. So she's, you know, she has not come out to talk to me since the hole started there. So. You must have had a bunch of hematite or light in the sand to make it red. It's really not that red. I mean, honestly, it looks like his regular Culver material. I mean, like I said, it's been a while since I've panned out any Culver stuff, but it looks just like his normal material. I know he's listening and he's probably screaming, I told you, you big dummy. I told you this is why it's called the red doe. Tell him. But he's just listening in because he's driving, so he can't start screaming at me in chat that I'm just being a big dummy. But you're only 57. Am I talking crazy like that? Oh, I'm not talking crazy. My mind is much. I'm a very forgetful person and stuff like that. I really have to concentrate on stuff. You should see me today. I was trying to do 2 things on my computer, and I just kept doing the wrong thing on both sides. It was just, because I was helping somebody with their website, one of my friends, and I was trying to set up stuff for this show, like putting up the Nightbot stuff and making the hidden video stuff, and it just took me forever. I was getting it wrong. And how's it going, Sean? Thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it. David, what's up, brother? Thank you very much. You're way too kind, brother. Yes, the bag was red. I see. I threw the bag on the other side of the room. No, actually, the bag is more pink. Oh, no, maybe it's not the red doe. Why did I think this was red doe? This isn't red doe. See, Culver? Okay. I'm telling you, see, I'm losing my mind. It clearly says on the bag, Ghost Town Paydirt Independence Pass. Why was I thinking it was red doe? I have no idea. See, I'm not all there. I'm not all there. I was like, man, this is just not red material. This looks like his regular stuff. I mean, you gave it to me, but I was like, I feel kind of cheated. Oh. So, yes, we are not panning out Culver Prospecting's red doe. We are panning out his Ghost Town Paydirt Independence Pass. That looks exactly like this. That looks nothing like red doe. I don't know where I got red pass from. I think it's on my cheat sheet. So I didn't even bring my cheat sheets down here tonight. Oh my gosh. But I write up cheat sheets every time I do a review or I have a live show so I can know what the spot price was, what the Paydirt was selling for and stuff like that. And I think originally I was just trying to get a bag of the red doe, or I think you had told me, Culver, you had a bag of red doe, but because you sent this bag to me. And then I never changed it on the sheet. So I was just upstairs on my sheet when I made this, and I didn't actually come down and look at the bag, and I just was like, okay, it's the red doe Paydirt. Let me see. I don't even know. Let me see. I must have. So I think what happened is I think at one point I had a red dough from you and I had this Independence Pass, because if you see the thumbnail picture, that's what messed me up. I was going off of an old thumbnail picture I had grabbed, because I always take a picture of the bags of Paydirt, and I guess I forgot to swap out which one I used. So, like, if you look at the thumbnail, it's actually a bag of the red dough Paydirt. Oh, well, I'm just like special tonight, ain't I? Lord Shadow, how's it going? That's why it's not red. See, this is what happens to you when you turn 57. Oh. So, and I wish that I could say that this is the first time this has ever happened, but it's not, because see what happens is, like whenever I get these Paydirts and I put them on my shelf, I take a picture of them so I can use them on the thumbnail. But if I get more than one Paydirt, like see Vendetta, right now I have 3 bags of Vendetta paint up there. So I have 3 pictures of it, and then I will use that with my cheat sheet. But sometimes when I pan it, so I think like the last time I did a live where I was going to do a Culver bag of Paydirt, I grabbed the red dough, but then when I came upstairs to my computer, I deleted the Independence Pass picture. So I deleted the wrong picture. So then when I went to go do this video, I was like, oh yeah, it's the red dough. This is the problem when your studio's down in your basement and you're old and lazy and don't feel like coming downstairs to verify stuff all the time. Yeah. Like I said, Culver was just screaming, waiting till he could chat to tell me I was 100% wrong. Amanda, how are you? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. It was Culver calling you. Get in chat. Get in chat. He's saying this is red dough and it's not. Oh no. Well, hopefully you didn't drink as much as I did in my youth, so Ah. And what's funny is, even if you look at the thumbnail, the bag is red, and it just did not dawn on me that the bag was pink this whole time. I didn't even look at it or anything. It was just set in my ways. And this is a perfect reason on why I do not watch other Paydirt sellers' reviews. Because if I watch another Paydirt seller's reviews, and let's say they said something like, oh, this Paydirt just isn't red and it's considered red, that would stick in my brain. The little silly things like that would stick in my brain, and then when I was doing my review, I wouldn't. So, you want a nugget? Well, there you go, brother. And I don't know if you saw PA, but I did put your Paydirt up on the shelf, and it highlighted it more. I actually stuck the sticker that you sent me on the bag of Paydirt to make it a bigger sticker. Pint-sized panners, how's it going? Yeah. Well, this definitely explains why this material is not red. Oh my gosh. We're only 191 live shows in. Give me like 350. I'll just be babbling around, not knowing what I'm panning. The Paydirt, shiny, shiny. You'll be watching a steady stream of drool going in the water. Oh man. Yeah. So in between this show, has anybody checked out Gold Nugget Sales Mike Whatnot? Has he sold anything good yet? It really bumming me out. I'm going to have a serious talk with Mike about this, that he's doing his live show at the exact same time as my live show. Now I can't watch it. I want to see his thing. I want to boost up all the prices on everything. Bid $50 on everything. Yeah. And remember, and if you type in, if you're gonna go watch, if you want to go try to win some gold from Micro or Gold Nugget sales on Whatnot, if you type in Whatnot in live chat, it'll send you the link to his code, so you get a $15 credit. So you get 15 free dollars to buy stuff. Hey, Beermans, how's it going? That's a decent nugget, that's for sure. 1.68. I'll take that any day of the week. Indiana. That's a mountain in Indiana. There's a lot of fine gold in this little pile. So we're not even gonna mess with this. Look at that. That's so much little sparkles right there. I know. Anytime you can find over a 1 gram nugget is a good day. It's $100 right there, you know. All right, we're gonna have to start panning a little bit faster again. I do have to end the show by 7:30, so hopefully we can finish this bag of Paydirt. It's a good thing it's not the red dough, because I've been yik yakking just being a senile old man, a senile middle-aged man. I don't want to offend any of the older people. Yeah. Semi-old, semi-senile, and I'm chit-chatting too much when I should be panning. And I'm sorry, Culver, that I messed this up. Culver is not affiliated with this live show in any way whatsoever. We're going, man, there's a lot of fine gold in this, too. I just emptied my fine gold vial, too. So I needed some more fine gold. This will definitely help add some to the vial for making those bags of Paydirt for my Patreon members. Yeah. And don't forget to, well, I'm sure one of my mods will hit that hidden button link. Dean Spines River used to be part of an old mining district. That's what, anytime you can find, if you can find an old mining area, that's the place. Everyone I know who has found like really big nuggets has generally been in old mining areas, like old mining areas, you know, like 1800s, you know, early 19, nothing where they've been using any modern equipment. Because back then, they were just going after certain size gold. So they wouldn't catch, like I know for a fact that anything over generally 2.5 grams, something about the size of a quarter for all the old giant dredges that they used to use that they were just plowed through Alaska, and their giant tailing piles, and you'd find all these huge nuggets in them. Just because they were going after just a certain size. Like they didn't even try to catch the fine gold, and they didn't try to catch the giant gold. They were just going for all the medium-sized gold, just plowing through it because you could go through faster that way. Yeah. And thank you, Weezen, for dropping the link. So yeah, make sure, like I said, it's gonna be a shorter show tonight. So make sure you go and leave a hidden comment in the hidden comments, because this will be the final spot. And then next week we'll be doing the giveaway. So somebody will win some silver. Someone will win a little bit of copper. And then my Patreon members will win some stuff as well. So Daniel Bradbury, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Not smooth, so I figure I'm close to vein. Well, there you go, bro. Hopefully you find some good stuff. And Michael Reed, thank you for joining the show. I apologize. I saw you in chat earlier, but I think I was talking, then I kind of forgot. Like I said, marbles rolling around in the brain. So I appreciate you being here, Reed. I'm sure Kristen's probably here too, or she's listening, so tell her hi as well. We'll trade artwork for a care package. I'll trade artwork for care packages too, but nobody's gonna want my art. I can't even draw stick figures. Mm. All right. All right. Well, as you get the finishing pan out, so much fine gold in this. All right, let's add some more jet dry. Keep this stuff going. You're not lying there. Every time I see my doctor, I ask him, can I be on less stuff? Nope, we want to increase this. I have one doctor, which is weird. So I have one doctor, my main doctor, and she's nice, and she's a nice young doctor, but she will not lower any of my meds, anything. I'm like, look, my blood pressure's been perfect for 5 years now, going on 5 years. It used to be really high, but it's been good for 5 years. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's because the medicine's working. I'm like, well, maybe less medicine will still be working too. Can we try less medicine? If my blood pressure goes up, I'm not going to just pop, you know? You'll see me in 6 months, and if my blood pressure is elevated then you say, nope, go back to the higher stuff. But nope, they won't do that. But then I have my other doctor that's my specialist, my rheumatologist. She's my specialist. She's the only doctor I care about because she's the one that's controlling all my pain and all my real health issues. And she just lowered my dosage on a drug that I did not want her to. I was like, no, I'm perfectly fine. And we lowered my dosage probably 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and everything started acting up again. Then we had to go back up again in the dosage, and it took me like 6 months to get back to normal again. But she insisted I lower my dosage, and now I'm just aching, hurting, everything's flaring up again, and I'm like, I have to wait 2 more months before I can go beg her to put it up again and wait 6 more months. No. I was blessed with an Lego artist. I'm right there with you, Wesley. I'm right there with you. I'm just skating by on my good looks. If I didn't have my good looks, I wouldn't have anything. And I don't even have two nickels to rub together because I only brought down one. And that's so weird, Stephen LeBlanc. Your comment did not show up on my tablet. It's so weird. It's not your age. It's all the drugs that doctors have you on by the age that does it. That's only showing up on my laptop. On my tablet, that one comment did not show up. That is so weird. Because I thought it might have just been like the difference in time because you're farther away. I was like, maybe it'll show up after the other comment because you commented right before Pugent did, and his showed up. It shows Stephen LeBlanc, then Pugent prospecting. But on my tablet, it just shows Stephen LeBlanc, then Pugent. Doesn't say that one line. That's so weird. Yeah, that's what my rheumatologist. That's what she told me last week. Man, look. See, I'm so old. I didn't even finish panning out the other stuff. Here, hold on. Yeah, my rheumatologist told me, she's like, oh, let's lower the dosage on this stuff, and if it doesn't help, maybe we'll switch you to a different a different black label drug. But the one she wants to switch me to is like, it's like that $1,200 a month. I mean, my insurance, because I am on Medicaid and Medicare, would cover the vast majority of it. But, you know, current president, current people in politics don't like paying for people's drugs. So it might get very, very expensive. And then I would just be back on this one again, you know, because this one's $80 a month, or $80 every 3 months. It's $90 every 3 months, $87 every 3 months. And I can afford that, you know, because Medicaid and Medicare don't cover this drug, but it's $90. So I can pay it. So I don't know. All right. Now we have it all in there. Okay. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, this country has lobbyists. Nothing in this country will ever be free or cheap or healthy or good for us as long as we have lobbyists. You know. I mean, I live in a perfect example state. In the state of Indiana, up until like 2 years ago, you couldn't buy liquor on Sundays. And it wasn't for real religious reasons. It was because all these small liquor stores, because to buy liquor, you have to go to liquor stores. All the liquor stores just had lobbyists. And they just sent the lobbyists to the Capitol and said, we don't want, you know, because they didn't want to work on Sundays. They did not want to work on Sundays so they could go to church, and they didn't want to lose the business that Walmart would have taken up, because if all the liquor stores closed on Sunday, everyone would have just went to Walmart to buy beer. And they didn't want that. So they just paid lobbyists. They spent millions and millions of dollars to get lobbyists to do it. So they said, oh yeah, no drinking on Sunday. It was just, you know, absolutely, you know, it's the same reason why H&R Block spends millions of dollars every year to make sure that the government does not let people pay taxes freely through the IRS. You know, you have to get software programmed through H&R Block or one of the other tax pros. You know, you can't just do it on a government website for free because they already know how much you make. You know, lobbyists. It was on 12 breathing minutes, now only 2. Yeah. They'll just give you so much stuff nowadays. It's just crazy. Well, I was on chemo pill, 24K a month. Yeah, it's just crazy what drugs are. Like, I can't remember the kid's name, but that's like there was some kid, not kid, but a younger guy. He was like 24 or something like that, 26. You know, these .commer millionaires that bought the patent to a drug and then just so he bought the patent on a drug that was costing, I mean, it was an expensive drug. It was something like, you know, 500 a month. And the minute he bought the patent for it, he just raised it to like 10 grand because he knew insurance companies had to pay that. They already had all these people hooked on it. I mean, then he ended up going to prison, but you know, it's just crazy. You know, what you gonna do? There's so many reasons why drug prices are high. It's, you know, a perfect example is just look at oxycodone. Oxycodone would have been super dirt cheap. It wasn't expensive, but it was kind of cheap. But it had to pay for all those vacations and the money they gave to doctors and stuff like that, because they were selling it. But I will say most of my drugs are pretty cheap. Most of my doctors have always worked with me. To keep them cheap, I refuse. I'd rather just not take meds if it came down to like $24,000 or something like that. Nope. You know. Hmm. Hey, Tomcat, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Apologize if I didn't see you earlier. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate everyone being here tonight. As I stumble around, brain farting away. Man, I don't remember Culver's Paydirt being this hard. Not the Independence Pass one, at least. I do hope Culver puts some Paydirt up one of these days soon. I like this Paydirt. One of the reasons why he won my championship this year. Really good Paydirt. I like that there's so many good Paydirts out there now. I mean, they still have just as many bad Paydirts out there as they've always had. But it used to be, like, if you think back in, 5 years ago, even the really good Paydirts weren't as good as the stuff that's out nowadays. Until the mics came out and, Culver came out, you were really 70%, 80% ROIs were what you were getting, tops. I mean, now you got Gold Nugget Man, all these other sellers that are just putting out, Mammoth Gold Nuggets, Yukon Alley, putting out these 90% bags of Paydirt on an average, where you might get 90, the next person's getting 100, It's just crazy. Rooted, how's it going? There you go, Jason. uh, You'd be amazed at some of the patents. What was it? I was reading something. Oh, what was I reading not too long ago? About somebody where a patent expired because it hadn't been used in years. Like, it had been a popular product that kind of fell out of favor with people. So he bought the patent for like $250. And then he turned around and just started selling this stuff again, and it blew up and it became super popular again. Kind of like, with like bell-bottom jeans or something. Everything comes back into fashion eventually. And I guess he just started seeing like his kids were getting into something. He's like, oh, y'all start liking that? And he's like, I remember when I used to do that, when I was really little. So he bought the patent for it. And I was like, dang, why can't I be smart like that? Cobbles. Yep. Not too many cobbles in this one. A lot of shiny, though. We're going to get to it eventually if I stop talking. How do you sustain business at that level? Buy gold cheap. This is the way it works. Somebody's paying for it. It's just not the buyers of the Paydirt. It's the sellers of the gold that are paying for it. But you have to think. So, like, let's say you go mining. Let's say you're a bigger scale mining operation. Not like me or, most of the people in my chat going to a pond or a creek or a lake or somewhere and getting a little bit of gold. If you're a bigger scale, and let's say you're pulling an ounce a day, if you need to sell an ounce a day to buy more diesel and stuff like that, most of them are going to refineries. You're pulling probably 18 karat gold out of the ground, so they're going to pay you 60% of what spot price is. 60%. Now, if they sell that same gold to, say, Mike at Gold Nugget Sales, and he gives you 80%, you just made 20% more money. But Mike still only paid you 80%. Now, if he sells that Paydirt for, a 90% ROI, he's made 30% profit. Because he only gave the seller 80%, and then he made 10% off the bag of Paydirt. So that's where all the money comes from, is sellers. And it's not because the sellers are really getting ripped off. It's that the refineries are really ripping off sellers. Refineries are just killing them. If a refinery opened and started paying like 80%, they would clean house and steal everyone's business. But I'm sure they all get together and make sure, just like, any big thing, well, I'll pay 60%. Yeah. bill this week you can pay 63%. So just having a cold one. Well, there you go, brother. Yeah, 8-3. That's my problem is just going through doctors. That's why, like I said, my rheumatologist is the only doctor I really care about. She's the one that prescribes my heavy medicines that I need. You know, if I needed anything good, she's the one that does it. My regular doctor, she prescribes me blood pressure medicine, cholesterol medicine. That's it. She tells me, oh, go get a CT scan, this and this and this. But in the last 3 years, I've had three different primary doctors because either my insurance makes me switch or they find a better job and move. you know? Yeah. If I try to sell mine, I am usually offered between 70 to 80% for 18 calorie one. Yeah, you're going to the wrong people. I will have actually this month. I'm putting a video out this month on where to sell gold in 2025. I will have all the places you can buy gold for, how much they're paying, things like that. So I will have that video out. I can tell you, I pay 83 to 85% of spot price, not 18 karat price, spot price. So if spot price is $100 a gram, and you have 1 gram of gold and you want to sell it to me, I would give you $83 for it. So. Everything there, anything could be considered medicine. You look at it, I mean, back in the day, if you really hurting, a rock to the head was a type of medicine. you know Biting down on a shard of leather was medicine at one point or another. During the Civil War when they're about to cut your leg off. Yeah, so but I will have later in this month, I think at the um I'm trying to think. I had to rewrite my schedule because my kid's schedule. But yeah, sometimes this month I have the Flower Gold Wizard Sluice Part 2 video coming out, where I really run it through its paces. And then I also have a video on where to sell gold in 2025 to get the best prices. So because gold is going up, you want to get the best price you can. But you only buy up to 5. No, I actually buy up to 10 grams. I buy up to 10 grams. I will buy more, but unfortunately, it just depends. It has to be like when I actually have a little bit of money and, I don't have to buy any Paydirt or something like that. So I just don't have the bank to say, like, oh yeah, every month I'll buy, 40, 50 grams, I'm not selling Paydirt. Like Clash can do that. He can buy 40 grams a month because he's selling Paydirt. Mike, Vendetta, they can all do it because they're selling Paydirt. Culver can do it because he's. To me, it's just going to sit there for my Patreon members till I run out. So, but yeah, I typically try to buy less than 10 grams. I mean, people can send it, if they're hard up. Just odds are I would, and then even if they don't, I've had people before with send me more and I'll tell them where to go. I'll tell them go over here. He's paying, try him, try them, you know. Yeah. I had to fill it in. It was driving me crazy. It's still driving me crazy because because it hasn't rained yet, so I haven't seen where Indiana is notorious, has horrible soil. So Indiana is horrible that your yard's never going to be flat. And that just drives me crazy. I want a nice level yard. So later on this summer, I'm going to have to go buy like 50 bags of soil and drop it on the ground and start pulling a 2x4 behind me, trying to level my grass out. So, hey, Crash, is he going? Yeah, he's got a live show on now because he dislikes me. He doesn't like me. Mike has given up on me. He's doing his live show and whatnot right now. He's on what night? He's on what night tonight and tomorrow from 6 on. So yeah, he's doing his show. Yeah, I overbid on that nugget last week, but I just wanted to buy something. And what happened was I went on Whatnot, and so back a while back, I guess it was like a year ago or 2 years ago, I did a video about actually one of these refineries that faked the burglary. In my opinion, he faked the burglary so he could steal $250,000 worth of gold from his sellers. People had sent him gold to refine down. He claimed that he was burglarized and all that gold went missing. Yeah, right. He never called the police. The whole thing was sus. It never showed up in the news. $250,000 of the gold was stolen. But I did a video. And the way I did the video was part of the information I got was I had to make a whole bunch of Whatnot accounts because he was on Whatnot. And I had to keep asking him questions on Whatnot and different accounts. So, but back to the main thing. I wanted to go bid on some stuff from Mike the other day, but I couldn't remember any of my Whatnot accounts because I made so many dummy ones, but I used up all my phone numbers. So it took me like an hour to finally log into Whatnot with the account I wanted to. And by then he only had 3 things left. And so I had to buy the last one. I was like, I'm winning it. No matter what it goes to, I'm winning that. So I paid too much for it, but you know, it'll go in my kids' collection. So whatnot. Yeah, from what I hear, they're really trying to push it to get everybody that they see that sells. Like if they see anybody selling or, you know, hear a lot of reviews about people selling, they're trying to get everybody on there. You know, I'm not gonna say I'm a huge fan of it. I've talked to HD about Ed about this. I've got some concerns about it. You know, like if you were a seller in the old days on eBay had a lot of problems. They had things like shill bidding. They had people with, you know, like just the fact that I did buy something. I mean, it was what, like $300 on Whatnot last week. If I go to Whatnot now and it says, you know, like, what did I buy? It just says you purchased something. It says nothing. It doesn't tell you the weight. It just says item. It just says you purchased an item from on Whatnot. It doesn't tell you the item. It doesn't describe the item. It doesn't say what it is. And that, you know, stuff like that is kind of scary because you could get a sketchy person on there that could run through an auction selling like 1 gram nuggets really, really cheap, sell a ton of them. Then after the show, if you don't archive your show, because like, I don't think Mike is archiving his shows. I know some sellers do. I think Brian Thomas archives his. Some sellers do archive their live shows, but some don't. And if that show's not archived and you go back and say, hey, look, I thought I bought a 1 gram nugget, they can say, no, no, no. You bought a 1 grain nugget and we sent it to you, you know? So I am worried about the Whatnot, but you know, they're definitely pushing it, you know? It's 5 real gold in my pink. Yeah. I know I do need rain for my. It's been raining here, but the problem is it's only been raining for like 1 hour. Then it stops for the day, and the next day it rains for an hour. So I just needed a good rain to settle everything in, so that I could go level up my yard because I had to put all the dirt back, but you got to wait for it to settle. I wasn't going to stamp it down or anything, so got less than half a gram. Might have been lynch mining. It probably wasn't lynch mining. Lynch mining was pretty good at giving you what they said they were going to get. You know, they ended up, ripping off a lot of people in the end, but just by not sending them Paydirt. They just kept the money and didn't ship. But they were pretty good about if you bought a 1 gram, you were getting 1 gram. So I know who that is. Oh, I'll tell everyone. It's Prospector Golden Gems. It's David Esmiel. In my opinion, I am not a fan of his. I think he is a con man. Like I said, I did an entire video about him, how he got a $250,000 burglary. And I will tell everyone this too. Right after he did the burglary, right after I did my video where I thought the whole thing was very sus. He was very, very sus. Like if you haven't seen the video, go back through my thing. It's called, burglar steal $250,000 of the gold. It's a video you should watch. But right after the burglary happened, about a month later, he closed his LLC and that company name and started a new LLC. And so I looked it up and he started, I think, something like 5 or 6 new LLCs over the last 10 years. And that's what he does. Any company that's a refinery that is closing their LLCs and starting new ones is so they don't get sued. And the reason that they're getting sued is because they're telling people that they lost their gold or their gold got stolen or something like that. Because then you have to sue their old LLC, which now has nothing, and you can't get anything out of it. So, because he sells everything from the old LLC to the new LLC for like $1, you know. Hey, Tomcat, the hole is all filled up. I will have a part 3 out. It's pretty, you know, boring. Part 3 is just going to be like, oh, yeah, this sucked. I will say I did magnet fish it, and I figured out a semi-cheap way to fix that hole. I still have to, I'm going to wait and see if it starts caving in again. I have a way I'm going to go around and fix the entire thing. But I fixed the hole, filled up the dirt, and now I just have an unlevel backyard back there, so. That's why I'm still curious. I'm still curious. I will tell you, Wesley, I immediately thought afterwards, I was like, man, I should go buy a bag just to see what happens. But then I was like, well, no, because I told Wesley not to. I don't want to do that. But I am still curious if he would ship it or not. I mean, I have a hunch because every bag I've ever bought from him, I think the largest bag I ever bought was Secret Shopper wanted it. He was buying it, and he said he would send it to me to review. Was I think one of their like 10-gram bags or something, and it took him a month to ship it, which to me tells me he has no placer gold. He's just buying placer gold when he gets a sale. So I think if you would have done like you wanted to, he would have just said, oh, you know, it's not in stock. Sorry about that. And we would have canceled the order. But I'm still really curious what he would do. I mean, logically at that price, I'm pretty sure he would have canceled the order, but I don't understand what. So I had, you can go to my channel. I had 2 videos. I had a sinkhole. I've had a sinkhole in my backyard since I bought this house over the last 5 years. It's not a huge, it was like a rabbit hole. Like I would see a rabbit hole behind my shed and I'd throw some dirt in it, fill it up. And, 6 months later, there'd be a new hole and I'd throw some dirt in it. And it just always continued like that. And then this year, the hole was kind of bigger. So I was like, I'm going to throw some rocks in it to fill it. And when I threw rocks in it, I heard splashing. And so I knew there was either an old cistern or old, oil tank or something in the backyard that was slowly getting filled with the dirt. So I had to dig it up to, find out what it was. So I made 2 videos about it just so I could see what it was, I was I will say I was kind of hoping it'd be something, like, I honestly, I was hoping it was an old oil tank. Originally, that was my original thought, was it was an old oil tank, because most of the places around here were heated by oil. But when I purchased my house, I made sure that the survey and everything said that there was no oil tank on the property, because if you have to have them removed, they're very, very expensive. And if they find out you have one that was just kind of buried and forgotten about, it'll cost you a good 15 grand to get it pulled. So I was kind of hoping it'd be that, because then I could sue the mortgage insurance company to get them to remove it, and then I could have had my yard redone and have my yard nice and flat. But unfortunately, that's not what it was. So no, and that was another thing I was worried about, is a coal mine, because in Indiana, especially here at Evansville, there are a lot of coal mines, but they do have coal mine maps. They're pretty good, and there was no coal mines in my area. So I'm kind of close to the river, and they didn't usually coal mine too close to the river, because it wasn't very deep. The coal mines here weren't very deep. So I was worried about that too. I was like, oh Lord, if it's an old coal mine, which wouldn't have been too bad, because, I would have just used it. I'd have made a tunnel down there and put some stairs down there and built a bomb shelter in there. But I'm going to get something from him off there. Yeah, I totally see that crash. I totally 100%. So that's why the only reason I bought something, typically if I want to buy something from him, I'll just buy it off his website and, but I wanted to, I love Mike. I think Mike is an absolutely awesome person. So I wanted to, buy something off of it so I could say I got something off of his whatnot. And I will label that nugget just that. It'll be his whatnot nugget from GNS. So, oh man, I should be so lucky it'd be like a silver mine or something. But no, it's just a whole old hole in the ground. So. Looks like 1.23. I don't know. We'll do it again, but the little big piece, originally I thought that was a nice 1/4 gram nugget, but it's really light. It sounds really light. It looks big, but that's the one thing about gold is You'll get some piece of gold, you know, like that size that'll weigh like 0.3, 0.25, 0.25 to 0.35. And that one, I'll bet that one's probably 0.15, 0.16. You know, here, I'm actually going to dry it off and see. Here, let's see. Let me go hop on my scale. Let's see. I am so wrong. That's a heavy little sucker. 0.4. So yeah, that's definitely over a gram. It is very, doesn't make much sound. It's not solid. All right, here we go. 1.06. Well, I'm not weighing it up, so it's just going to go in a vial. But here, now it's time for y'all to look at the ugly mug. We're going to pull a name for spot number 8. Southern Indiana is known for Indiana silver. Well, yeah, but unfortunately, that hole did not have any silver in it. Well, not any. Well, there might actually been silver down there, but, you know, it wasn't an old silver mine, so it was just an old leaf hole. But all right, let's shrink down the pan and cam. Let me put the gold so you can see the gold. There you go. The gold I recovered from that red dough Paydirt. Oh. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? So there we go. There's the gold for the night. And thank you, Culver, for setting me straight with the color of the bag. So I actually looked at it. And here, I'm gonna go. Let me go see. What is my giving away right now? Let's see. He's giving away a nice little piece of gold. Gold nugget shown on screen number 59. See, Mike is lucky on whatnot. He doesn't have to show his face. I have to show my face. No. All right, let's post up the hidden link one more time. Because again, tonight is going to be a shorter show. I have to be done by 11:30, 7:30 because my kids are here. So every other week, Tuesday is going to be a little bit shorter. So, there we go. Post a hidden link. Make sure you go post something on the hidden channel. Spot number 8, 1.6 ounce silver bar from Cajun Bullion, a hand poured silver bar. Second place will be a 6.7 ounce copper round from Cajun Bullion. So, oh man, look at this. Oh, Mike is just showing off some huge nuggets, making me jealous right now. But I'm a bid $1 on everything. What did you win? HD? Did you just win something, HD? Now I see why my channel's kind of slow tonight. Plow Dog's there. Utah Mining. Who else? I guess HD is there. Oh, you people. All right, there is. Humble Stacker, how's it going? No problems, no problems. Can definitely melt some copper, yeah. So yeah, so make sure you post them in the hidden comment. We're going to go there in a second. I need to get a bag of colors. And email him. If you want a bag of Paydirt from Culver Prospecting, your best bet is to email him. Don't all flood to email him, but you should email him because he has nothing actually on his website. He is sold out on his website. So your best bet is to ask for a custom bag of Paydirt so you can email. So he'll probably take care of you before he opens up his website and starts trying to put stock on there. This is going to sell out in 10 seconds. So if you want a bag of Paydirt from Culver Prospecting, 2024 Paydirt champion, email him. Best way to get a bag. So All right, let me go make sure all the comments are going through. I can close this and close this. All right. Comments. Published. Held. It looks like everything went through. All right. Everything went through. YouTube always makes everything so difficult. So you used to be able to just go to comments and pick either held or published. Now you have to click held and then hit apply. So now you have to hit 2 buttons. It's like, how does that make it easier? That just makes it just, YouTube. What you gonna do? All right. Well, I appreciate you watching, Josh. I really do. I appreciate everyone who's watching. Even the ones who are watching me and bidding on Mike's stuff, even though I can't watch Mike because Mike knows I'm doing this. Mike's just hating on me. I don't know what I did to Mike. What did I do to Mike? Oh, that's awesome. That's the one place I've really been. That was the one place I can tell you that when my kids were smaller, that was the place I wanted to go. It was a Crater of Diamonds. And it's not that far from me. It just never happened. Whenever we would schedule it and say, oh, we're going to go there this time, something would happen where, a bill would come up, something, water heater would explode, washer and dryer would explode, and be like, okay, we can't take that vacation. We'll go again, in 6 months and something. That was the one place I really want to take the kids when they were smaller. Now they're too old. Now they don't want to go diamond. So one of these days I'll go there by myself once they're all out of the house. So yeah, he's definitely hating on me. I don't know what. It's probably because that's one of the days he's free. I'm not upset. If this is when he can do his shows, he can do his shows. I'll be happy. It just bugs me. I can't watch it. I thought he was going to do it because I know when I was at his last show, I know he said he was going to do them on Tuesdays. I thought he said Monday, Tuesdays, maybe Wednesdays or something like that. But I thought they were going to be at 5 o'clock because that's usually when he drops his videos is at 5 o'clock. So I always have time to watch his videos before I do my live show. So I was like, oh, I can watch him for an hour. And then, and then even if it runs long, at least I get to watch him for the first hour, then come do here. Because that's what a lot of people do. A3 Sky Warrior, Brian, a lot of people, they were putting their videos at 5 o'clock right before my show so I could watch their videos, if they were doing it, But all right, let's go. Let's get rid of the pile of gold. And thank you again, Culver. I really apologize for butchering that up and telling everyone it was Red Doe and it was Independence Pass. I'm just, senile old man and just, at least I panned it. But all right, let's get rid of the panning cam. And let me set up the window. Yeah. Let's shrink down what are we shrinking down? We're shrinking down the face cam. Let's shrink down the face cam so we can do this giveaway to the best website in history, millerprospecting.com. There you go. Last 3 reviews, my most recent reviews. The Miner's Catch. Definitely watch that one. They did pull everything off their website after that video, but they might put them all back. It's definitely something to watch because I don't think they're very quick at updating. They said, I think it's supposed to be back up on the 28th or 29th. So the website is going to be back up in a few days with new inventory. So definitely want to check them and see what their Paydirt, what their new prices are. The Vendetta Sonoran bag was a really good one, and the Gold Baron full gram. So 3 really good videos there. My top 10 as always. And of course, like I was talking about earlier, I do buy gold. You can click this, sell gold, and it shows you everything I do. Pictures, take this and that, and all that. But mostly, just here for the information. Just come here. Last 100 reviews. There's some really good ones on there. Some really bad ones on there. So the bad ones, keep away from. Worst 25 ROIs of all time. Stay away from all these sellers. Sellers to avoid. If you see these, most of these are advertised on Google. Avoid all of them. And then if you want to buy some gold on a live stream and whatnot, look who this is. This is Sal, Gold Sal, for whatever reason. Gold, look at that nice bid, $390. That must be a big piece of gold. Who's winning? 26 bids, 417. I want to know how big. 1.73? That's it. 1.73? Man, that's a expensive. Oh, all right. I can't bid on that. I got to stop watching. I'll go broke. There you go. But if you haven't already, type in Whatnot into the live feed and you get a $15 coupon at Whatnot so you can go bid on something from Mike. So let's pull these. Good luck to everyone again. This is spot number 8. We will be giving the 1 ounce silver bar away next week. So let's go. And as always, YouTube and its affiliates have nothing to do with this giveaway. And if I pull your name, you must post something in the live chat before the end of the show. So let's pick this winner. Shane Berthero. Oh, he's riding his bike. I hope Shane still has his headphones on. Good evening and congratulations to the winner, because it won't be me. It will be you if you post something in the live chat. So Shane, I know he was riding his mountain bikes earlier. Hopefully he has gotten back or he is still listening. So Shane, you are the winner tonight. So now we can make the mug full size here while we wait for Shane, who's attended probably every one of my shows, and hopefully he's here. So Shane is still here. So congratulations to Shane. That was quick too. Hopefully you didn't crash or something. Thank you, Culver. Gold leaf. Yeah. Well, I knew it was going to be fancy gold. At that price, it had to be fancy gold. So I can't afford fancy gold. I got to just get that round old California gold or the golden Paydirt. That's about it. So the only way I could get fancy gold, like to get leaf gold or, wire gold or something like that, is through Dave at Gold Bay. He's the only person I know, and maybe Brian Thomas every once in a while, because he gets it from Dave at Gold Bay. That's the one site. Like if you want to get some wire gold or something, or leaf gold or crystalline gold, it's through Dave at Gold Bay. You just wait for him to have a sale on it, because every once in a while he'll sell it at the same spot price as regular gold, and then you can get maybe a nice piece or two out of the bag. So I reround. I've done that before. I have done that so many times where I'll just be clicking something and not realize I moved, and I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, wait. Didn't they already talk about this? Why are they talking about this same subject? We just went through this. And you're like, what? Then you look at chat and you're like, wow, those are the exact same replies they said to it too. Then I'm like, oh, wow, hold on. I skipped back 30 minutes. So you're not the only one. So, but congratulations to the winners. The 8 winners. I didn't bring my sheet down here. So let me see. I think I could pull it up. I think I have it saved on this computer too. Let me see. We'll go through the 8 winners. No, I don't have it on this one. It's on my hard drive upstairs, I think. Let's see. Let me see. I think I might have the updated sheet down here. Let's see. I do. So there we go. So the 8 winners that will be in next week's giveaway for the silver bar, the 1.6 ounce silver bar, and the 6.7 ounce copper round are going to be John Gear, Aaron Mack, Rinky's Carnage Crew, Michael Reed, Bierman's Prospecting, Adam Weiss, Teo, and now Shane Berthero. So those are the 8 people that are going to be entered. Come back next Tuesday to see who wins. I will also be doing a brand new giveaway next Tuesday that will just be starting. It will be a 1-episode giveaway. So next week, whoever wins will get that prize that day next week. I'm going to start doing every Tuesday will be a giveaway where every Tuesday, whoever I pick will win something. It will either be gold or a gold-plated dime. It's going to depend. I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to do it to make sure it's plausible for me to afford it. So, and then we're also going to be doing the Guess the Gold winner. So you will know who the Guess the Gold winner is. And by the way, if you're a Patreon member and you haven't guessed yet, go guess. I will be posting a reminder tomorrow. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go hang out with my kids, have them order pizza, and we're going to go watch a scary movie. So since it's kind of late, it's getting dark, best to watch a scary movie with some pizza. So, but I'm going to get out of here. I hope everyone finds a lot of gold or buy some good gold from Mike over at Gold Bay. Mike over on Whatnot. That's what it is, Whatnot. Man, then you can try Dave at Gold Bay too. I still like him. So, but I'm going to be out of here. This Saturday, I should have a video. I should have a video of the Iron Death. Hopefully this Saturday, video Iron Death. And then next Tuesday, we'll be back with a Patreon appreciation live show. But I will be giving stuff away to the non-Patreon members, so make sure you post. And I also have something special. I didn't bring it down here, but I have something special for my Patreon members. So even if you guessed and you're wrong, I have a special prize that somebody donated to the channel to give away. Everyone for Patreon will have one shot at. So definitely come back next week, and we'll do that. So just trying to catch up on the show. And hopefully I'll see you all next Tuesday. But until then, hopefully find some good gold. Everyone out there paying something good, has some fun, and has a good time. But